Hey guys, two packages arrived today, one from Amazon.com and the other from my good friends at Barnes & Noble. Good friends because they are running the Criterion 50% off sale right now. But I love this movie. It's The Empire of the Sun, and you know, it's a movie that most people don't understand. In fact, I'm not sure I understood it for a lot of years. It looks, at an initial glance, it looks like a movie about a child who experienced something at wartime. Well, let's see what it says back here. Let's see what it. Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun is an inspiring, action-packed epic of a small boy in a great war. That boy is Jim Graham, a young Briton whose unconquerable spirit soars high and free above the harsh confines of a Japanese internment camp during World War II. Through his eyes, we see the fascination and horror of war, and we see Jim's hold on childhood weaken as his struggles to survive grow fiercer. Well, that's pretty accurate. It's based on J.G. Ballard's memorable bestseller, the first major Hollywood studio production ever to shoot in the People's Republic of China, and it earned the 1987 National Board of Review Awards for the Best Picture and Director, as well as a special citation for outstanding juvenile performance for Christian Bale as Jim. Okay. Well, first of all, Christian Bale as Jim, that's pretty cool. So that's Christian Bale right there. 1987, he would grow up to be Batman. A couple interesting things. If you go to Blu-ray.com, I'm going to plagiarize most of the person's review that reviewed this. Essentially what he says is, when Spielberg went to do this movie and he had read the book, he said he only believed part of it. In other words, he believed that the book itself wasn't exactly accurate, though it was a guy's life story. He believes that, like a lot of things, the guy's remembrances of what actually happened are mixed up with, childhood remembrances are often tainted. You remember certain things, maybe not exactly the way they were. So this movie is a reflection of that, of kind of faulty memory, along with some things that really did happen. Or maybe it happened, but not exactly the way it shows. So when you watch it with that in mind, and there are some clues throughout as to which things are actually probably real and which things are more than likely imaginary to some extent or altered to some extent. I may do a full-blown review on this if somebody wants to see it. What happened after this movie was made, Spielberg, he tried to go in a different direction. He'd done E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, and here he was trying to do something different, a little more serious film, and really it was not well received by the public. I don't think the public understood it very well. And so he went in a different direction with movies like Hook. And of course, Hook, he saw as, at one point he described it as he was like a hamburger cook, and those were the hamburgers he was churning out. He did not have a lot of respect for movies like Hook that he made. But this movie really should have been better received than it was, I think. I think it really is a masterpiece. So, I look forward to reviewing this one. I have an easy way to get this open. Sometimes it's easy to pop these open, and sometimes it requires a little bit more force than you really want. I don't like to scratch anything up while I'm doing it, so let's see what we got here. Aha! It was pretty easy to do. And just give me a second here to finish it off. And I'll show you this sucker. I've not seen the inside of this. I've not seen anybody do an unboxing of this thing, so okay. I don't mind this. A lot of people hate when this is done, but I don't really care. The Blu-ray portion actually stays on this, but this on the back will peel off and reveal just a picture on the back there. I'll leave it on for now. 2 discs, as I said. This one, which is the actual Blu-ray movie in the front. Hold on a second. Let me spin that sucker around. I'm kind of anal about that. Yeah. That's the Blu-ray movie. Beautiful, beautiful inside. Love the Digibook. Digibook for me over Steelbook by far. I like having some extra content. I like these. I like the way these are laid out with the picture kind of overlapping into where the disc goes in the tray. Warner at War is the second disc, and I'm not sure what that's all about, but the back will tell me. It's a documentary look at Warner Brothers' impact on the nation during wartime, narrated by Steven Spielberg. That will be good. That will be good. And is it on Blu-ray or DVD? It's on DVD. And that's fine. And then we've got about a 36-page booklet, I think I read. Something like that. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. The red and the orange on this is just gorgeous. Joel Siegel says, what a movie. Superb performances, a powerful, moving, gripping film. Spielberg is a great, masterful filmmaker. Yeah, I would say that's true. Beautiful picture. The lighting and stuff does not do this justice, this picture, I can tell you now. It really is gorgeous. There's future Batman there. The sweeping story is set forth spectacularly. That's the image I remember. And then that one took plane going down. Looks like a beautiful, beautiful release. On Digibook, Steven Spielberg's, not his hamburger. This is an epic drama that should have gotten more love than it did at the theater box office. Empire of the Sun. Put that aside. And get into the Criterion goodness here. I absolutely love this movie. It is a documentary. It is Spine number 122, and it is called Salesman. This is a director-approved DVD. This guy right here on the cover, this Irish guy, this Bible salesman that goes from door to door and tries to sell this Bible to good Catholics that are in the neighborhood. He usually says that the church sent me by. I'm here from the church. So they get the church's blessing, no pun intended, and then go door to door with members of the church. I think normally they sign something to say they'd be interested in having somebody talking about a Bible. But most of these people are poor, or they appear to be poor anyway. And the Bible is something like $50, $49.99. But back in 1960 something or other, that was probably the equivalent of $200. And this guy's trying to sell it. And it's the story of four of these guys. He's known as the Badger. It's like the Badger, the Jackal, the Rat, I don't know, the Rabbit. I can't remember all the names, but it's these four salespeople. And on the back here, what it says, you might be able to read it. A landmark American documentary, Salesman captures in vivid detail the bygone era of the door-to-door salesman. That's true, you don't see that anymore. While laboring to sell a gold-embossed version of the good book, Paul Brennan, that's him, and his colleagues target the beleaguered masses, then face the demands of quotas and the frustrations of life on the road. Following Brennan on his daily rounds, the Maisels discover a real-life Willy Loman, walking the line from hype to despair. And some special features, new high-definition digital transfer, audio commentary by the filmmakers, a 1968 Jack Noel television interview with David and Albert Maisels. The Rabbit on NPR's Westbound Edition 2000. The Rabbit was the youngest of the salespeople that were featured in here. Behind-the-scenes photographs, theatrical trailer, English subtitles for the deaf and hearing impaired, optimal image quality. It's 91 minutes. It's black and white. I just love this movie. I have to have it, and I have it now. Salesman. Kind of a plain Jane looking release, but I just watched it the other day, and I want to watch it again. Sometimes the documentaries like that, this real life stuff is interesting. I love it that it has a special edition approved sticker. I'll be putting that right there where it goes as soon as I take the wrapping off this one. So that's the first one I got, and I'm thrilled with it. So put that there. Next. One that I wanted, I went to one of the Barnes & Nobles, and they didn't have it. This is Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone on Blu-ray, and approved by Guillermo del Toro. A story about I believe it takes place in Spain, probably, or believe it is. It's in Spanish. I'm going to guess that's true. And basically what it is, it's one of the most personal films by Guillermo del Toro. Devil's Backbone is also among his most frightening and emotionally layered. Set during the final week of the Spanish Civil War, it tells the tale of a 12-year-old boy who, after his freedom-fighting father is killed, he is sent to a haunted rural orphanage full of terrible secrets. Del Toro expertly combines gothic ghost story, murder mystery, and historical melodrama in a stylish melange that, like his later Pan's Labyrinth, reminds us that the scariest monsters are often the human ones. And that's very true. As usual with Criterions, tons of extras, especially on their Blu-rays. There is the spine. It's 666. 666. How appropriate is that for Guillermo del Toro's Devil's Backbone? 666. Yep, that might be a scary one to watch. We'll have to find out on Blu-ray. And last, I've gotten to really appreciate this man's films. I wasn't so sure about this particular film for a couple of reasons, which I'll talk about. By the way, The Devil's Backbone, I don't know if you got the information here off the back, but it's a 2001 movie. So this is a fairly recent movie. 5.1 surround. It's a 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio. So it's going to look good on your television set, folks. This was a 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio, this one that I'm looking at now. 1956 film, 101 minutes, black and white. It's in French with English subtitles, and it's Robert Bresson, A Man Escaped, or Robert Bresson, if you're French impaired. This one is a story of a man who's imprisoned and who's wants to try to escape. However, there's some tricks to it. With the simplest of concepts and the sparest of techniques, Robert Bresson made one of the most suspenseful jailbreak films of all time in A Man Escaped. Based on the account of an imprisoned French resistance leader, this unbelievably taut and methodical marvel follows the fictional Fontaine's single-minded pursuit of freedom, detailing the planning and execution of his escape with gripping precision. But Bresson's film is not merely about process. It's also a work of intense spirituality and humanity, as most of his are. Tons of extras, too many to even read. There's a lot of stuff here. This one is spine number 650. And I love the cover art on this. A Man Escaped. All right, guys, so we've got Salesman, The Devil's Backbone, and A Man Escaped from the good folks at Barnes & Noble and the Criterion Collection. And then The Empire of the Sun, Steven Spielberg's, in my opinion, masterpiece, one of his masterpieces, detailing a young boy's reminiscences of World War II. Yeah, good stuff. Hope you enjoy. Anything you want to see me do anything more on, a review, unwrap one of these suckers and show you the inside booklets and so on, I'd be happy to do that. For right now, I'm just going to leave it like this. I may do an overview of all my Criterion haul, which I think I'm done with for this time around on the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale, as well as maybe just an overview of everything I got on the upgrade and save this time around, because it was quite a bit. And I may do that soon. And I still owe everybody a final look at my Criterion Collection. I already did the Blu-rays already, and then I added 2 here. I haven't shown you the DVDs yet, so I can include Salesman when I film that. All right, guys, enjoy. Take care.